Hey friends, so I wanted to give you an update about the Shiloh project. It's still in process and it's a concept that is evolving greatly, especially as I see all of the things that are going on in this country and around the world. The the attempts by the elites to control and to make us slaves. Initially, the Shiloh project was developed to kind of conform to their rules, by tokenizing the land. And in that way, we could find accredited investors that would be willing to purchase the land, and then people would be tasked with making the land more productive. But it's become apparent that that isn't going to work. There's no way that I can achieve the vision that I have in mind by adhering to their rules. Um, and so it's gone from this idea of tokenizing land to the creation of a utility token, which is also a blockchain-based solution, but it's of a different nature. With a utility token, it's designed for a platform. Typically a digital platform, but in essence a utility token is also similar to like a store credit. It is a value that can only be redeemed inside the store. There are a couple of platforms that use utility tokens successfully. One is the Brave browser, and the other are a number of the games that people play online where they have their native token that can then be swapped for other tokens and then things, purchased inside the game. And what has really come clear is that, like, if we want to take back our country and if we want to take back control of the world, we have to step outside of our parents and our grandparents' way of doing things. There is no way that they will allow their power to just wilt away. And we see, especially now with the political blowback going against Robert F. Kennedy Jr., that the Democrats are essentially cannibalizing themselves by trying to prop up, a clearly mentally unhealthy man for the candidacy, because then he can just continue to promulgate whoever it is that's pulling the strings agenda and get away with it. Our uniparty in DC is not going to do anything to change anything. And if we want to really take down this evil empire that's come to, become more clear now than ever, we're going to have to completely step outside of that reality and create our own. And so Shiloh is now, I'm developing it as a utility token. And the idea is very simple. You platform the world. You sell utility token, use Shiloh, and with the proceeds you purchase land, and then the people that purchase those tokens then have access to that platform, which means they have access to the goods and services on the farm, and no one else. Of course, there has to be also cross-chain compatibility, but the token itself has to be used purely on the platform, being the farm and the collection of farms that are purchased using the Shiloh tokens, whether those are bought new or whether the existing farmers want to utilize that token to become part of the cooperative and then have their mortgage bought out. There are a multitude of ways that this could be done. But what this would do is it would also allow us to use the Shiloh token as a form of a gift, as form of charity. So a lot of people that contribute to this kind of a project won't live anywhere near the farm, and they would have no real way of redeeming their tokens from, production on the land, or to come and stay at the dwellings that we will build out here. But there will be a function. We will be partnering with churches and schools primarily to allow people to donate their tokens to these institutions and individuals so that they can then be redeemed. And we're working out now a way to make that where it can be considered a gift and a tax deduction. That's something that I don't know a whole lot about, and it will take time to develop, but that's why it's so important that we've purchased this farm so that we can begin finding developers to create those smart contracts to start putting this kind of a thing together, because it's going to receive a lot of opposition. And that's all right. We're not going to roll over and allow these people to enslave us. The vast majority of young people in America, I don't think, like what is going on in this country. And so I believe that this is something that both the left and the right can get on board, and it's going to cause a big fuss. So it is an evolution. The white paper should be finished in the next couple of weeks, and then we will launch our crowdfunding campaign within 6 weeks. And the goal with that is to generate talk, to generate buzz. I mean, contributions would be much appreciated. $1.4 million just to purchase this property is a lot of money. But when you look at that in relation to some of the market caps of these tokens, like a shitcoin, it's insane that so much money is pouring into these seemingly, trivial projects, and they're all expecting some form of monetary return. It's either, a currency or a security, but the Shiloh token will be a utility token, only available for use on the platform with no expectation of return. However, it does have a huge spiritual mission and a revolutionary mission, which is to begin the process of platforming the planet, using God's platform as our base of operations and wresting away the platform from the people who assume that they own it and that they have rights to it. God's the only one that has right to this world, and God is the only one that has the right to claim us as his children. And we have to begin to stand up for that in a big way, much more than just simply talking shop about God and how much we love God and how God wants us to fight back against wokeism. We need to take actionable steps to begin fighting for God. And I believe the Shiloh token, it will be a way for people to begin beating the drums of God's armies and mobilize people into action. And it will succeed. It will succeed because God is waiting for us to begin fighting in his name, and to stand up for what we believe to be true and right. And the longer we allow this craziness to persist in this country, the deeper and deeper we're going to fall into slavery. And we can't allow that. So I hope you guys are still paying attention. It's an evolution. It takes time to figure all these things out, but Shiloh is coming. Thank you guys. Take care.